What's happening, everyone? This is Mr. DigiWiz, and in today's video I'll be talking about Druid. This is going to be the new DPS melee soul for 1.4. Shaman is not dead, although it will only be viable once you have full gear and full raid buffs. So you'll probably want to be sticking with Druid for the most part. Anyways, I won't be having the soul builder in game. I just don't feel like recording in game on and on over again, so I'll be using the soul builder on Rift Sam, and let's just clear that. So this is what you want to go after for leveling. You want the damage and the survivability from Druid, you want the heals and the procs and the damage from Shaman, and you want the heals and the endurance buff from Sentinel. So we're going to start with Druid, and we're going to take all the pick all the main talents for damage. So this is pretty much it. This is all damage Druid. This is the 31 Druid. And for Shaman, we're going to pick these talents. We're not going to pick long memory because we won't be using Crushing Blow. We're going to be using Fervent Strike instead. We're going to be taking this and Watchful Rays and Walk in the Light. This is what you're looking for extra survivability. You have Druid here, giving you Strength of the Earth, and Spirit of the Hunter, Savage Force, Boundless Growth, Spirit of the Wood, and Weight of the World, and Rage of the Fae cooldown, Natural Dedication, and Summon Satire. This is all-out DPS. You have extra survivability because you have Greater Fairy, which can effectively serve as a healer. It has a non-cooldown casted heal that will be very useful when soloing elites. And also, if you're looking for a more DPS centered pet, you also have the Satire, which can give you a very big damage boost. In Shaman here, we have all the procs that we're used to, so we'll be having that damage, we'll be having the extra heal from Glory of the Chosen, and we'll be getting the buffs from the Courages and the DOT from Lightning Hammer. And in Sentinel, we'll be having the endurance buff and also the healing breath. This is what I think is best for leveling. If you want to trade a little bit of survivability, you can take from Lust of Blood and leave it in Balm of Woods and also Touch of the Fae. So you can take off here and there to make up for a little bit of more survivability. This is not going to decrease your DPS all that much, because really for leveling and questing you want a bit of survivability over damage. So this is what you should be looking for leveling. Play around. It's really these trees, you can't go wrong with them. There's really the talents are pretty straightforward. They're either for survivability or for damage, so you know which ones to use that I'm using here. There really aren't any useless ones, although you don't want to pick these ones because they're useless unless you're going full Shaman. And other than Heed the Call, there aren't really any useless talents in Druid. You don't want to go further than 10 points on Sentinel because that's just wasting. You're not going to be healing. This is what you should be looking for leveling. As far as full damage goes, you want to trade Sentinel for Inquisitor and Inner Focus and Fanatic's Faith, and pick all the usual suspects for Shaman. And for Druid, we're just going to pick the main damage ones. here. And you probably want to take Forced Blessing. This reduces the AoE damage done to your pet, because in a raid or dungeon scenario you definitely want to have this. And there's really no other reason to go full on DPS. So this is your DPS build. This is what you should be looking for if you want to be top DPS. A lot of people say that you can go 51 Druid. They're saying that it's also great damage, although I'm not sure, I haven't confirmed yet, and I really don't like the idea of being too reliant on my pet. I like having that stable damage from the skills shaman. But if you wanted to go 51 Druid, then you would have to give up all of these, and I think it would be something like this. And now fill all the talents in Druid. Oh, I'm missing. Oh, what are we missing? Hot-blooded. So we have 51 Druid and full Inquisitor, 10 points here, and you're left with 4 for Shaman. So either go Unyielding or go for Dauntless Courage. But as a Druid, you won't be crit reliant, you won't be looking for the RNG to give you good numbers. So I personally wouldn't go Unyielding, I would go for the stable damage of Dauntless Courage. This is the 51 Druid DPS build. So, looks like, yep, you can go full Dauntless Courage. So, yeah, this is what you're looking for top DPS. If you want to go 51 Druid. I'm just going to switch to some in-game footage in a second, and we'll see about the macros and the rotations. Okay, now to talk about the macros. So, first of all, I have to tell you that my build in game is much more survivability centered. As you can see, I just build up my Druid, and I get Touch of the Fae, and I get Balm of the Woods, and Ditch Rage of the Fae, and Forced Blessing. And on Shaman, I basically just build up until Jolt, and started putting points into Sentinel until I get Heroic Blessing. At that point, I will keep on to the Shaman tree. That said, here are my macros. I have Druid Easy Mode. First off, you cast all of your procs from Shaman, so cast Jolt, Glory of the Chosen, and Fated Blow. Then you cast Shield of Oak to protect yourself, and then you cast Massive Blow and Combined Effort. You might want to cast Combined Effort before Massive Blow. This is little tweaks that you can make. Then you cast Eruption of Life, Lightning Hammer. Some people disagree. I say that Lightning Hammer is a big part of your DPS. If you look at any parses, basically, Lightning Hammer always does more damage than Fervent Strike. So in my book, that's good enough to put in my macro. Then you cast Bombard and Fervent Strike. Now, if you don't have Inquisitor, then Bombard is pretty much going to be your pull ability. This is what you'll cast first at range. Although, if you do have Inquisitor, then you might want to put Sanction Heretic and pull with that, and then keep on going with the regular macro. I keep my heal from the Shaman, and I keep my mana back macro. Ageless Ice and Fae Hammer, pretty much everything the same. And you have Wild Strike, which is the equivalent to Avalanche Strike, or Avalanche Strike from Shaman. And you have Stone Burst, which is AoE root, and then Hidden Path cleanses you of all your diseases, curses, and poisons. you and your pet. Um, Speaking of pets, you have the Greater Fairy, which is just awesome because not only does it have the regular heal over time and the cast the damage spell, it also has the fairy healing, which, as I talked about, is a non-cooldown, casted by 2 seconds heal. So she will basically heal you and heal you and heal you. If you're at full health, then she will attack. If you want a DPS centered pet, you might want to think about using the Satire. He's pretty badass. I'm just summoning him right now. Come on, don't get... She's going to... Whoa! Almost hit her in the head. Anyways, there he goes. The Satire. He's pretty badass. Look at him. Don't run away, dude. Like, he's pretty cool. And he has a buff that increases your attack power and spell power, not only of you, but also your raid and party. So this can be a very big help for your DPS right off the bat. And you also have Satire Sweep and Enraged Assault, which are hard-hitting damage abilities that will help the DPS a lot. You also have Natural Dedication here, which is a cooldown by 2 minutes, increases to 5% in damage of you and also all your raid members. This build includes a surprising amount of party and raid utility. So, as for buffs, you have Vengeance of the Winter Storm and Fae Hammer, and your regular courages from Shaman. I'm using Bear currently. And you also have Heroic Blessing, which you get after 4 points in Sentinel, which I don't have yet. That's pretty much all that you need to know. As far as your rotation, just hit that macro and keep spamming it, just like you did in the Shaman. Let's go for a test run and see how I do in a fight. Okay, so I'm going to try to take this guy out. He's an elite mob. He's supposed to be taken down by a group of 3 in a quest, and I'm just going to try and solo him with my Greater Fairy. So there we go. Just popped my cooldown right there. Hopefully I'll do some more damage and I'll be healed for more. This is just easy because look at my health. Okay, healed myself there, but as you can see, this is just too easy. It's like a regular mob with more HP. I hate when he does that skill. Yeah, killed him. It's just that easy. Just that easy. I'm going to try and find a regular mob and try and kill her with my Satire, just so we can see how much of a DPS boost he really is. This is just too easy. I mean, I haven't had this much difficulty or lack of it killing mobs since I played a paladin on Wrath of the Lich King, and it's just fun face rolling over everything. Look at that. It hasn't even made a dent on my HP. That HP is still from my kill of the elite guy. It's just too easy. So there you go, guys. Just saw it. Just spam my macro and yeah, it's just that easy and that much fun. My microphone just shipped yesterday. It's coming from the United States, so it's going to take at least a week to get here, and hopefully we'll have better videos back then. See you guys.